Hello. Okay, so we have a unique opportunity here. Customer of mine came to me with some needs for some data storage. They wanted to store some stuff off the cloud. It looks like a trend is I'm seeing a lot of more and more small business or even just residential owners wanting to have their own storage at home. So UniFi is poised, Ugreen, all those guys are poised to really make some money on this. But anyway, with that, the customer wanted a storage solution that was simple to use. And I think we all know UniFi is second to none when it comes to simple to use. So this is the unit. They went with this with the best unit, 2 hard drives. This one is the UNAS 2. No NVMe cache, just giant drives. This is what the box is. Very light. It's super lightweight. I'm sure it gets hefty once you put the drives in. But this is what the box looks like. A little single display here. I don't know if you can catch it on camera. And with that, we have this is the bottom panel. There's not much I/O. There's USB. There's an LED here that will light when you have drives in there. There's drive indicators here. You can see those. And then this here is a 2.5 gig NIC is what they chose to go with. Well, this unit has. And to remove the hard drive chassis, looks like it just comes right out and you're good to go. And when you're ready, just plug that bad boy back in. So that's the unit. It came with a braided Ethernet cable, power cable for the PoE adapter. I really like that they leaned into the PoE roots and just made this PoE instead of running an extra brick. Obviously, it's kind of like a brick, but then your switch takes care of everything else. So that's kind of nice. Anyway, let's go ahead and install the drives, and then we'll go to the customer's place and adapt it and kind of take a look at the UI. I don't think it's very much different from the UNAS, but nonetheless, we'll take a look and we'll see how it looks like in the system, because this is a couple of generations newer like even the original UNAS is. So let's get the party started. Customer asked me what drives they think they needed, and I told them that's what they needed. So they got 2 of these bad boys, 4 terabyte red drives. Here's the box here. I did the unboxing already. Got ahead of y'all. Red plus. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and install these, and we'll power this unit on. Okay. All right, pull this out. By the way, if you're seeing the picture in the back, in the background here, this is me in the left here. I was hiking, but my friend thought it would be funny to get this picture framed for me, because there was this other dude that photobombed my picture in my perfect moment, but I kept it anyway. All right, so here's the drive caddy. So looks like to me there is little grooves. I'm not sure if you'll be able to capture them on camera here. There's little grooves here on this side, which tells, and then down here also. Let's see here. There's one there and there's one there. So I'm guessing you just put the one side with both grooves in. This will be my guess. And it looks like it just kind of snaps in there. And then to release, there's a button here that you push to release the drives. And then let's put in the other side. Looks like the other side is the same. There's a little knobby here that holds the drive in. There's another little knobby here that holds the drive in. And there's another knobby back here. And then this is plain. I'm not gonna put screws in here because these are grown-ups here. There's no kids running around to destroy anything. So I'm gonna again put the side with the knobbies in first, and then it just kind of goes in like that. Now I'm gonna go look for a screw and put a screw in here, just for extra security. UniFi, next time please add those screws. All right, I am back. We're gonna go ahead and slide these bad boys in. Pretty sure they just go in like that. Woo, satisfying. Now that becomes a little bit more heavy, but nothing too crazy. But that's it in a nutshell. This is the setup process required. And I think I'm just gonna go ahead and flip this on its back. Grab my Ethernet here. Might as well just run this. And I'm just gonna run it that way. And then I'm gonna go ahead and plug it into its PoE plus, and then the data will go here, and then we'll be good to go. All right, let's go set this up in the rack. Okay, so this is the customer setup. Very simple. Fiber coming in, 1 gig, one by one. Dream router is what I end up setting up for them. They had TP-Link before, can't have that. The customer want to leverage some better functionality, be able to add multiple networks and just kind of keep an eye on their stuff. I help them manage them and fill the gap in. But they said they want to set it up here. They're going to build another shelf for this guy. Okay, so for now, this is going to be a good spot here. I'm just going to plug everything in, 2.5 gig down here, so that should be plenty. Okay, so we got the PoE here. Go ahead and plug this bad boy in. Am I probably going to need... We're going to need to figure something else for power. They don't have outlets, so we'll be back on that. All right, I rerouted the power. He's going to tie this up and clean this up. That's his weekend project. He's one of the best around here. So PoE is plugged in. PoE injector is plugged in. So we're going to go ahead and wait for this to finish booting. And then we'll boot this one up. We don't want this to boot while this is booting up and interrupt the adoption process. So we're going to get that done. I'm not sure how well the lettering is coming up on this. So the left side here, it has like a network symbol. And it has the PoE++ symbol here. So this here, the PoE++, will go towards the NAS. And then this will be the data coming in from this guy here to the Dream router on there. So that's how we're going to set this up. Dream router is booted by the blue indicator here. So let's go ahead and plug things in. Let's plug it in. Okay, so like I said, to keep things simple, see here if we put this in frame, PoE++ on that side, and then this guy will go ahead and go to the router. So go ahead and plug this in up here, Dream router. We got port 2 plugged in. Okay, now we'll go adopt it in the system. Handy little animation from the UniFi system. So it's going to boot up, and once it's ready, we'll go upstairs and connect to the console and finish this adoption and set up the shares. So we are in the UniFi router here. We're going to go ahead up and set up and merge this. You can see up here that it's the UNAS 2 is ready. And so let's go ahead and set up and merge. Now this is the first time I've set up the UNAS of any kind under the UniFi.ui.com. So this is a customer, so we'll probably redact some information here. But this is the first time I've done that. So now if we go to UniFi, nothing happened. So I'm not sure what's going on here, but let's double check. All right, there we go. It says it there. It's in here. And then we have an IP, so we can browse to the IP to go ahead and set it up. So we'll copy that. Let's see here. All right. It's nothing else. As you can see here, it's a 2.5 gig. We're good to go there. There we go. All right, so it's updating. So we'll give it a second. So it looks like to me that it's rebooting. So we'll give it a second here. Maybe we'll go take a look and see if it's rebooting downstairs. Okay, so as you can see here, it's booted up. We're back. But what I don't want to do is I don't want to go through this whole rigmarole of signing in and having the customer send me a 2FA. He already sent me one under his site manager. So I'm just going to go back to site manager here. And now you could see that it sees the drive right here. So we'll click on the drive and it should take us directly to the drive without having to sign in. So obviously we have to agree here. Okay, and then we'll start. So this is how you bypass the local setup. You can still access the NAS locally, which is fantastic, which is my preferred method, but here I'm kind of remote and you want to make sure that I get this job done as fast as I can. All right, so we're familiar with this. All right, we set up the storage. Okay, add drives, drive 1, drive 2, okay. And then we're gonna, so we want to do, as you can see here, there is a couple of RAID protections here, a mirror, RAID 1, which is what you have, and is what the customer wants. They don't want have a whole lot of data. So go ahead and create the storage pool. I understand these are brand new drives. And it's going to do its thing. It's going to optimize here, and let's see. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Now it's giving us a message here that it's creating a storage pool. So we'll give it a bit. I wish there was some kind of way to actually see. Let's go to the main tab here and see if you like. we'll go back here. We'll give it a second. I think you have to let it finish. So we'll let it finish here and we'll come back. Okay, so let's refresh the page and see if there's any update. Looks like it. All right, so we don't need to worry about the UniFi driver application. You guys are all familiar with this. This is pretty cool. You can do photo backup, which we'll press set up for the customer. Take a lot of pictures, and there you have it. So we have 4 terabyte available to us, and let's go ahead and do some shared drives here. So we'll go ahead and create a new drive for the customer. Let's go through the process, and I'm gonna call it data bank, because why not? For all of you that remember the old days of Casio, the data bank. So we're gonna just give him the whole pool here. We add users. Okay, so forget about it. Let's go back. Sorry about that. I wish, so this is, let's pick a bone here for a second. So if you select a shared drive and add users, I wish they will let you add a user here, create the user here in real time, but unfortunately not. You have to go back here in the settings, and then we're gonna do create a new user and call it all right. So we have the user set up. Now we go back into the shares here, and then we're gonna create a new drive, add a shared drive, data bank, because why not? And then we can go here and add the user, add them as the owner, and then we can go ahead and say add, and that's it. That's as simple as it is. So now they have this drive. So I think these are the drives here. We could probably deactivate this. We don't need those. Deactivate that, and then we'll delete that. Kind of nice to come with some default drives, but we don't need that as well. So we'll delete this one also. There's no reason to have those. We just keep what we need in there. I like keeping my setup as repeatable as possible. So we just have one drive in here set up and ready to go. So that's ready to go. So I just need the customer to be able to log into their machine and ready to go. But this is it. This is the whole enchilada here. All right, we have arrived at the final stage of the testing. So the drive is ready to go. We're gonna run a speed test here. We'll do let's do 1 concurrent read, and then we'll do 1 gig, and then we'll kind of bump it up in 3 steps, and we'll see. All right, let's select the folder here. Select do the data bank. Okay, that looks good to me. And we're gonna go ahead and hit. Oh, I haven't used this test in a while. I don't know if I'm doing this right. I should use the Blackmagic speed test. Okay, it says preparing, create test file. We'll pause here and talk amongst yourselves while we see what's going on here. Fantastic. Okay, so there you have it. So this is what you get with one operation at a time. There's only one test running, as you could see there. And this is to spinning drives. This is spinning drives. So I'd say that's okay over Wi-Fi. And let's do 2 sequential, and then we'll bump this up. Let's do 4 gigs. I feel like no more video files is there around 4 gig if you record a few. Okay, we'll try it. Sometimes it's gonna take much longer because it's 4 times the size and twice the operations. So let's go ahead and start. So it looks it's about the read is about the same. Actually, a little bit faster. And actually, no, the other thing is 56. So yeah, same difference. And take a look at the next one. I think the tests are gonna probably fall pretty close to each other. Yeah, that's kind of like suspected. Now again, this is a reminder. This is going to two spinning drives over 2.5 gig NIC on the UNAS 2 and the Wi-Fi chip on this person's laptop. This laptop is I think a $400 laptop, so the Wi-Fi ready is probably not going to be the best in a RAID 1 on the UNAS 2. So I would say very acceptable for this setup for what this customer intends to do. Just file some Word documents, Excel, videos, like just cell phone videos, I showed, and not crazy high resolution. I think it's 4K, but it's cell phone video, and then some pictures. So I think this will serve them well. Yeah, so no matter the size, looks like even with 2 sequential jobs going, we are still getting pretty much what we're getting with one sequential job in a much smaller file. So I'd say, this is pretty good in my opinion for the pipeline that's delivering this read and write to and from the source. That's it. All right, let's wrap this up. Okay, this is future me. The test is done. You guys saw the video. So I would recommend the UNAS. I feel like that's a really good solution for a small family. You just want your data storage locally. It's cost efficient. Depending on the hard drive size that you choose to go with, the hardware itself, I think, with subscriptions like to Google Drive and OneDrive, all those drives, I think it's a pretty good proposition. Anyway, that's it. We got another one coming up here shortly. But if you're new here, please consider subscribing. It helps the channel out. Until the next one.